Last time we talked about the whole Bill Cosby thing.
Sure.
About how he called your radio show and you guys got into it. The show got pulled. The segment got pulled and so forth. Since that time, Bill has been convicted.
Yes.
By a jury.
Sure.
And he's now facing up to 10 years.
Sure.
I believe he's wearing an ankle bracelet.
Sure.
He fired his whole legal team. He cursed out everybody in the courtroom.
Actually be a member of the Trump administration. Listen, I think Bill Cosby did a lot of those. I can't say for everything. And even knowing that I know that, I think that jury, I think that you talk to a district attorney, this thing was settled. Now it's being tried from today's prism, from today's vantage point.
Okay.
And I thought that was patently unfair. And if we're going to do that, I wonder how far we're going to go back. Like, is it 20 years, 30 years, 40 years?
Right, because, Harvey Weinstein is now facing life in prison.
Sure.
He's got 3 new sexual assault charges.
But how far are we going to go back? Are we going to go back to Thomas Jefferson? Like, at what point does our moral outrage?
It should go back to the statute of limitations, right?
That puts a connotation on it. If we're a moral country, ultimately it's this. If Bill Cosby, we have 2 celebrities, right? One black, one white. Both work for NBC. Both accused of sexual assault by dozens of women. Now the black one's going to the big house. The white one's in the White House.
Trump.
So if I were Bill Cosby, I'd start a y'all too amendment. Harvey Weinstein, Donald Trump, y'all too. But stop telling me how dedicated we are to righting a wrong when you allow somebody who did the very things he's being convicted of sit in the White House and you support him. It's disingenuous at best. It's a lie at worst.
Have you ever had a woman accuse you of anything?
Probably, yeah, of course. Let me be clear, never of taking something from somebody.
Yeah.
I didn't ever drug anybody. Lies and bullshit pretty much work as good as anything you take. But yeah, I have been in situations where I've lied to people and told them I wasn't married before, or told them I would do something I didn't later on do. So yeah, I have.
Well, I had TK Kirkland on the show, and he talked about how
he was actually my mentor.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Love TK Kirkland. We talked about how a woman accused him, I guess, of rape.
That ain't never happened to me.
And he actually pressed charges and got her locked up for a couple of years.
I leave town, Vlad. The owner calls me and says, TK, you got to get back here. This young lady said you raped her. Now, I fly back. I talked to the detective. Had nothing to hide. Told him everything happened. Gave him exact times of things went down. And what people don't know, I pressed charges against this woman for lying. Because what people need to know in the state of Georgia, if you get convicted on rape, it's 25 years to life. Damn. That's insane. So I had this person convicted and sent to prison because she lied on me.
I remember that.
Oh, you saw that clip?
Yeah. I remember when
you remember the situation? Okay,
yeah,
right.
I do.
But that rarely happens.
Listen,
there's usually no repercussions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could accuse your co-host of doing whatever to me, and ultimately, if it's not proven to be true, there's really no repercussions for me.
And that's why it doesn't. It lacks legitimacy. It's not legitimate. If somebody did the most horrible thing in the world in front of you, you would still have to take that stand and say, this man did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you would still have to go in front of a trier of fact. And I think it should be the same with your reputation. I think you shouldn't be able to lodge these spurless claims, whether they're spurless or not, without having to prove them. You have to. If somebody murders your family, you'd have to prove that.
Yeah.
Murder and reputation, you don't have to prove. And I think that now all of a sudden it opens the door up for people questioning everything. They'll go, well, you don't believe the victim. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to find out what happened.
Right.
My job ain't to believe anybody. It's your job is to prove to me what happened. And I guess with Bill Cosby, they did. So
They did. He's going to prison.
and he's going to prison. And I think that Donald Trump saying he did it is just akin to, look, Donald Trump and Bill Cosby did the same thing. Bill Cosby said he did it. Donald Trump said he did it. What's the point? What's the difference?